Thank you very much, gentlemen. CLG going to be very happy to have picked that up and own the head-to-head against Flash Wolves moving into the bracket stages. Doesn't mean they're out of the woods just yet. As Freak mentioned at the end of that cast, there is still a possibility for a three-way tie for second, which could totally throw things for a crazy loop. But diving into this game, let's start with Champion Select because we saw some interesting things come out. We saw the Aurelion Soul banned with its 0% win rate. So that's the first thing I want to touch on. Yeah, right? I mean,
bans.
But we had talked about, hey, teams, we want to see champion diversity and new strategies, and well, Flash Wolves does not want to see that.
And that's one of the points Kobe had in the opening is like we have very small champ pools in the top lane and in the jungle, and mid lane there's only a couple that really rise up. So when teams start really pinching these individual roles instead of just doing global bans, we could actually see some interesting pick and bans. I think that's what happened here a little bit as well.
Yeah. And I think that this is something that Huhi hadn't really shown to a lot of the other international teams, but he plays a lot of champions, and they kind of didn't expect him to pick up the Ryze or play the Ryze that well.
Yeah, but I now want to address Freak's point about Maple, because he was saying he wants to see them go back to putting Maple on carries. But Clement, can you tell me why Karma is a comfortable pick for Maple?
Actually, this is the first time we've seen the champion this season. What they were doing with this composition was saying, like, okay, CLG, you can play the siege push. We want to see you play the double TP flank. So if you look at all the team fights, where they won the team fights were out in the mid in the open and Darshan was engaging, they won those fights. But when it came to the jungle fights, they just got crushed a lot. Overall, I think the composition would have worked if they were more patient with it a little bit.
Okay.
More patient for one, and also have a different approach to the early game. We're not going to show it, but the lane swap was done differently by Flash Wolves, which left SwordArt very much so roaming around the map to try and kind of fill the holes that we're getting in that lane swap, but he was very underleveled. But in their composition, he's kind of the glue that ties it all together, because you can poke, but you need something that can engage, pick off people. That Bard ultimate came online very late, then it wasn't used very well, so that was where Flash Wolves kind of missed the mark to snowball the game, because we saw in some fights in the early to mid game that if it's an even fight, Flash Wolves' composition spikes very much so a lot earlier, and they actually win all these fights. CLG just played the map better, especially in the lane swap. Darshan got like 30 CS ahead pretty much for free.
Yeah, that lane swap that Flash Wolves were trying to pull off is actually something that CLG are very comfortable with, because Cloud9 had done it so much previously. So they were very accustomed to what was going on, and so they traded really easily and got that extra turret, so that early turret gold, they were able to utilize it, even though there were mechanical mistakes by both supports in this game. I like the Bard steal away from Aphoromoo, because Aphoromoo's Bard is so scary. But as they said, there were a lot of timing things where they didn't quite land and layer the CC coming out of it. But Aphoromoo also missed a couple of Soraka ultimates.
Yeah, I believe twice, very crucially missed Soraka ultimates for people to die. I want to go back to the point, though, the Clement, you're talking about the comps and the way that they should be played here with our replay. Not the last fight, close to the last fight, in the red side jungle here. Very extended fight, but Flash Wolves kiting back rather effectively.
Yeah, they really don't want to take the fight head on. They're coming in and they think they have someone cut off on the left side, but then they get stunned up here, and I think Darshan actually uses...
Yeah, this is a really smart move from CLG. They have Darshan recall in vision, and Flash Wolves, as specifically maybe MMD, I think, doesn't think about the fact that Darshan can just ultimate immediately back with the ult, and surprise, it's actually a 5-on-5. Yeah. But still, they're not out of the woods, because Aphoromoo gets taken out, and look at Stixxay on top. He's barely slips into the Lamb's Respite right there. This was very touch and go for CLG, even with the lead that they had.
Yeah, Stixxay's reactive teamfight has been fantastic overall in this tournament. He's just really good in these fights. The laning phase, we can still criticize him a little bit, but just the presence of mind to switch targets, then go back for the Lamb's Respite, I think was just fantastic to see overall. We saw the strength from Flash Wolves' composition, though. When they kite, they can win a lot of fights, but then they need to turn with the Bard ulti and connect the Q, and there was another missed Cosmic Binding from SwordArt that he could have set up. He missed like 3 of them on the ultis. He missed 1 teleport coming in. He just wasn't used to playing this champion, and that could have been the difference in this game.
Yeah, we also saw, unfortunately, MMD's ultimate not landing onto Aphoromoo coming out of the Bard ultimate, and that could have turned things entirely. So tiny misplays here and there, if riddled in your game, will definitely hurt you. And CLG come out on top. Now let's talk a little bit more about what this means for the remainder of the day, right? Flash Wolves still not, still not out of it by any means. They've obviously already secured their position in the playoffs, but they have a game against Supermassive, which they're expected to pick up. CLG have to pick up that win against G2 if they want to keep themselves for sure in that second place slot.
Looks likely, though, at this point. The way CLG has been playing, I don't think G2 has picked it up sufficiently. They had somewhat convincing wins against Supermassive, but I don't know, man. Perk still is getting 1v1 by inferior on paper mid laners. I think Huhi is even getting better throughout the tournament. Every role for role, I think CLG just shining more.
All right, well, before they go up against CLG, we're going to see them go up against SK Telecom in our next game of the day. We finished 2 games here, but we're just getting started. Next up is Korea's SK Telecom and G2 Esports. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Just keep playing slow. Wait for them to mess up in team fights, in my opinion. And we got it. Play confidently as a team, and we got it. Good luck, boys.
These teams, again, tied in the standings, battling for second seed heading into the playoffs. North America owns the Rift. Here comes MMD, finds Xmithie, Graves in a world of trouble, and the Bartledy catches 2. Aphoromoo can't heal Xmithie, and he goes down before Wish comes through. What a great play! Aphoromoo Stixxay dangerously low, and then L! He gets into the backline, he picks up 1, he picks up 2! What a great Lambs fight by Karsa!
Here comes Darshan. We can go. Ezreal dash. Bar's dead.
Oh, bit of low. Stixxay goes back and lands with fight. Jay goes back. It's a 2 for 1. Advantage of CLG. Maples next up to see. Huge battle for counter logic game.
Look at Jay. They're coming to Jay.
Watch me.
I got shielded. Back up. Yeah, you're fine. We go. Yeah, I'll be there soon. Come on, boys.
The game-winning play. CLG will be 2-0 against Flash Wolves.